So shout out to you for being here watching this video. On my end, the time is 7 a.m. on the dot, and it feels good to be talking about this framework here. So this framework is something that I have been using for quite some time just to bring myself results in life, but predominantly my fitness. That's really where I've had the most improvements at. Now, before we get into step number 1 of 3 of the framework, I want to let you know just a little bit about it. I call it the MBA, kind of like a degree framework, and it stands for Momentum Based Action. I'm a firm believer in success being more based on what you do when you're down than what you do when you're feeling good, because everyone can be on fire when they're feeling good, but when you're down, that's usually when you'll either lose ground or start walking backwards, or some people just turn around and start running backwards. You feel me? This framework is meant to uplift you in your down times. You'll take care of the rest. You'll take care of everything once you're good. Step number 1 is to expect it. And we're gonna use fitness-based examples here. So let's say that you're looking to lose some fat in your core, you wanna get right, you want the six pack, you want the bikini body, whatever it is that you want, that's your goal, right? Step number 1 is to expect everything that can potentially sabotage your goal. You need to expect it to happen. You need to do that. And this is not being a pessimist. This is actually making you more prepared for when and if it does happen. You see, you don't want to be surprised with the bad shit that happens in life, because when you're surprised, it'll send your brain into a frenzy, and next thing you know, you're spiraling. And spiraling is not really conducive if you're looking to be successful at something. So, expecting everything that can go wrong, you also want to think about solutions to those problems. So we'll stick with that example of wanting to lose fat in your gut. Let's say you are out all day, you haven't had an opportunity to hit the gym or pick your kettlebell up. What do? Well, a cool solution would be maybe you don't make it to your workout today, but you make sure your diet is clean and you're not eating any processed sugars or any unnecessary carbohydrates, things of that nature. Maybe another problem that you face is you're traveling. Well, what do you do when you're traveling? Maybe you just bring your kettlebell with you, and now you can do an at-home or hotel-based kettlebell workout as opposed to making it into the gym. What we're doing with this step is we are reducing the impact of unforeseen circumstances. This is forcing our brain to stretch. Our brain is beginning to use its imagination with this principle. And this is actually called neuroplasticity. And I'm going to spare you all the details, but basically neuroplasticity is your brain stretching out. Your brain is just expanding to imagine and be prepared for any and everything, okay? So we've expected every single thing that can go wrong to go wrong, and we also have a solution for it. No, you don't have to walk around with a journal or a sheet of paper like, oh my God, this went wrong, what do I do? Nah, all you need to do is you need to plant it into your subconscious mind, understand it, and it's just gonna take care of itself. Understand this, your off days or your down bad days are remedied with creativity and education, preferably with creativity. So creativity doesn't mean being an artist or, wearing vintage clothing. No. Creativity quite literally means to create something. You can create dinner and you were being creative, you feel me? When you create things, it forces your body into action. You do something when you're creating, which is creativity, right? When you create things, I want you to think about cause and effect. You create a scenario, and there's an effect of said scenario. The other way to remedy an off day or a down bad day is through education, because maybe you don't know what to do in that circumstance. If you take some time to learn and educate yourself, And you don't got to go to school for this, but if you take some time to educate yourself on a potential solution, that will breed creative action, because now you have this information, and what you impress, eventually you'll express it. So we're looking at this as some sort of continuum. I want you to imagine a circle, right? And it's one of those circles that have the arrow, the arrow, the arrow, basically saying it's never gonna freaking end. It's just a loop. And in that loop, you have creativity, action, and education. Creativity, action, and education. Over and over and over again. It's kind of like a one hand washes the other mechanism that we're creating here. We're stretching our minds to expect everything that can go wrong to go wrong. We're building solutions. And if we ever find ourselves stumped, we either escape that or remedy that with education or creativity. And that is step one in the MBA programming. Expect it. The cool thing about this framework, gang, is that you can use this in any area or aspect of your life. Use it freely. I use it with everything. And you don't have to go too in depth with it. Maybe if you're a more detailed person, feel free to do so. But just take a little bit of time to expect the unexpected. And when it does arise, you'll be just fine. I'll see you in the next video.